Welcome back, boys. Welcome back. And I hope you're ready for another hot, steaming, heaping, helping, serving of account progress on the Ultimate Iron Man. The YouTube channel might be dead and dying, but I'm still playing the account almost every day, so there are some fatty gains to report. One of the highlights from the last video was hitting 99 fire making at Wintertot, and that came with a lot of herb and seed drops to include into my potion making. And on top of the fact I sat for literal months at Dagonoff's. Now it's time to reap the benefits and harvest what we've sown, because we are finally cashing in all of that banked herblore XP and growing up some pots. Having the herbs harvested, the challenge now of course is secondaries. I mean, luckily, although maybe unluckily, if you're not a fan of Easyscape and all this pandering to the fucking casuals, this Valamol update included Mastering Mixology, which is a herblore themed minigame, which very significantly, because I don't have a bank, just by the way, it gives you herblore XP without needing secondaries. So a caveat, while the balancing team over at Jagflex might be pretty undercooked, there's still a few lights left on the building because they took pains not to make this new skilling method absolutely overpowered. And the XP per hour is noticeably slower than if you were to just mix the secondaries yourself. So it's not a potion making method replacement entirely. And this also might be a strange thing to complain about, where the objective of the entire game is to spend thousands of hours grinding, but it's just not very fun. I mean, at least with Temperos or Wintertoad, there's like some semblance of a mini game. It's pretty hard to fail, but there is an objective and you have to do it, and if you don't do it right, there are consequences. And you know, there's other players on your team, and there's a bit of a sense of camaraderie, and there's a high level philosophical discourse in the chat about whether Bill Gates is the Antichrist and who the best porn star is. But mixology is just boring. It's just you and you mix the colours, and that's it. If you graduated your final exams at the end of kindergarten, then you know blue means pull the blue lever, red means pull the red lever, and it just takes as long as it takes. And that's it. You're a master of mixology. Now do that for hours. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's useful as hell, especially for a UIM, since as you may or may not know, I cannot use the bank. But finding something to mix all these lanterns with, and it was a huge help going through the stockpile. And believe me, you don't get 99 runecrafting on 3 accounts if you have a massive aversion to doing a few boring grinds. And I mean, that's how I got a law degree, IRL. Something is boring, but you just suck it up and do it anyway. And suck it, we did. And then on top of all of the Mixology Mastering, I did also just have a few secondaries from the farm runs, from the farming contracts. We had Snape Grass for prayer potions, Limput Roots for super strength, White Berries for super defense, Eyes of Newt for super attack. And that got us all the way up to 90 herblore, which also meant we could mix super combats, which is very advantageous. Any future questing, any future PBM, we can now boost attack, strength, and defense using only one inventory slot. Now that we have well and truly passed 87 herblore as well, we can construct the highly coveted ornate rejuvenation pool. Now, for the very first time in history, we can restore our health, our hit points to full every time we visit home. And there tends to be a fairly close correlation between having hit points and staying alive. So this is useful for just about every aspect of the game. And this was a bit of a pain in the ass to get the ingredients for in its own right, since as well as just being able to make the anti-venoms, you need to have Antidote plus to mix with the Zura scales. And you could just kill Kraken, because that's got a pretty high drop rate for the Antidote, which I don't have 87 Slayer. You could just camp Zura, which also drops it if you're not dog shit at the game, which I'm not. So I ended up having to mix the Antidote plus, which requires magic roots and coconut seeds. The coconuts were fine, but fucking hell, magic seeds were elusive. Luckily, I was doing farming contracts anyway, so it's just a matter of staying on top of farm runs, hoping for the occasional magic seed as a reward, sometimes from bird nests if I did birdhouse runs. And you need 10 potions to create the ornate pool, so I needed to happen several times. I couldn't just get one. Anyway, we got there, we completed the farming contract to get the magic seed, to grow the magic tree, to harvest for magic roots, to mix with Iridan coconut milk, to mix with Zura scales. You also need 1,000 blood runes, to construct the pool. But we're sitting very pretty with our massive blood rune stack from the Runecraft grind, so that's not an issue. And we got there, the ornate pool in the player-owned house. And then the other thing, the main point of progress over the past few weeks and months has been mining. Specifically shooting star mining. And like I said in a lot of my older videos with AFKing in the catacombs, I can still play a lot of hours of RuneScape with everything else I'm trying to juggle in my life. But the reason I can play so much is because I basically just leave the game running by itself while I work, while I exercise, while I eat, while I do house chores. And shooting stars are absolutely perfect for that. Even better than Daggernauts, since you don't occasionally run out of fucking prayer and need to loot and bag everything again, wasting. Anyway, shooting stars is literally one click every few minutes, and then you can just pile up the AFK mining gains. Can be slightly annoying occasionally to find a new star, particularly if you're playing on mobile, when the old one depletes. But there are RuneLite plugins, Discord servers, websites. They all crowdsource the stars people stumble across from all locations, all servers. It's usually pretty easy to find a new one. And then on top of that, the stardust you get from mining can be traded in for uncut gems for some good crafting XP. Now, I was originally going to get the dragon pickaxe before getting too deep into the mining grind. I do have full Verax, and one is useful for killing the Cowfight Queen, which does drop the Dree pick, but I gave the Verax method a go. Turns out without a special attack weapon to lower its defense, like a Dragon Warhammer or a Bando's Godsword, it's not super viable. It can be done, but it's slow and painful. Actually, just to get one queen kill for the diary, I just brute forced it with Sara Brews and Super Restores to make sure I didn't run out of HP. In the end, I decided it would be too annoying, and the dragon pick is significantly better than the rune pick, but not orders of magnitude better. From memory, I think it's something like 15%. So I just used rune all the way up until the end. And then, of course, apart from the mining XP and the crafting XP, truly the best thing about the shooting stars, the real gems, were the friends you make along the way. After hitting 99 mining, I was tempted to keep going. I do still need the crafting gains. I'm a long way up from 99 crafting. I really would like the mining pet, the little golem. I didn't get it on the way to 99. So I think I will go back one day. But for now, I have an overall goal of the account, just to slowly keep working towards maxing. So for the time being, it's on to the next AFK grind. So to round the video out, a little sneak preview of what the next big grind might be. We're getting the Dragon Axe from Daggernauts Rex. Unlike the Cowfight Queen, this one's easy to set up, safe spot. You can get the Dragon Axe from any of the Dagonoths on Waterbirth Island. All 3 of the kings drop it. But Rex is weak to magic. It's easy to lure him into the corner and safe spot him. And if you're an ancient, like I was, it's easy to just camp blood spells and have pretty much infinite health and healing as long as you don't mind paying the rune cost. And I got 2 Berserker rings while I was going for the axe drop, which will also be handy as the best in slot for any melee combat. At least until I get the Ring of Suffering. But as you may or may not know, I cannot use a bank, so there wasn't really a whole lot I can do with the second one. My main account doesn't have membership, it isn't bonded up. It is worth a cheeky 4.5 mil though, I didn't want to just drop it. So as a nice little conclusion to the mining grind, we gave it away at the Shooting Stars and watched all of our little fellow miner boys fight over the drop like seagulls. Alright, that's it for this one, boys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.